I'm going to discuss some important questions about hybridization. As you know, hybridization is very important topic in chemical bonding, especially for first year BSc student, second year BSc student and third year BSc students. But as we know, this topic is very important for chemical bonding and for your examination. So I would like to discuss very most important questions which are already related with the hybridization. Right? First question about hybridization is, what are the different types of hybridization? What are the different type of hybridization? Then we should answer that based on the nature of mixing orbitals. Friends, as we know that hybridization is nothing but mixing of orbitals of the same atom. The hybridization can be classified into different categories. Right? First is sp hybridization. In sp hybridization, we know that one s orbital combined with one p orbital to give sp hybridized orbital. So first type of hybridization is sp hybridization, and we can see this type of hybridization in the molecules like beryllium chloride, acetylene and so on. Second type of hybridization is that is sp2 hybridization, and it can be seen like boron trichloride, ethylene, etc. Third type of hybridization is sp3 hybridization, when single s orbital can combine with 3 p orbitals to give sp3 hybridization. And sp3 hybridization, what we can see in the molecules like methane, ethane, etc. Next type of hybridization, that is sp3 hybridization, right? One s, 3 p orbitals and 1 d orbitals are mix each other to give sp3 hybridization, like phosphorus pentachloride. Then sp3d2 hybridization. This type of hybridization is exhibiting the molecule like sulfur hexafluoride. And last one is sp3d3 hybridization, that is rare hybridization. And this type of hybridization, what we can see the molecule like iodine heptafluoride. Okay, then you can answer very easily. Second question is, why is the hybrid orbitals during hybridization better than the parent atoms or parent orbitals? Right? So as then the question is arise in our mind that what is parent atoms? Right? So what does it mean? For example, carbon has 1s, 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz. Then 2s orbital and 2px, 2py, 2pz orbitals of carbon becomes parent orbitals of hybridized orbital. Okay. Question is, why is the hybrid orbitals are better than their parent orbitals? Because hybrid orbitals is better than s, individual s orbital and individual px, py and pz orbitals. Answer will be, the reason why a hybrid orbital is better than their parents, because parent s orbital has not a directional property, as it is symmetrical orbital. S orbital has spherical symmetry, right? It is already symmetrical equally around the nucleus, so it has no directional property, while hybridized orbitals formed from s orbital is having directional property. It is oriented in specific direction, right? So this is the importance and benefit of hybrid orbitals. P orbital, parent P orbital is having greater energy than its hybrid orbitals. Okay, so a specific hybrid orbitals formed from P orbitals is having lower energy than its parent P orbitals. And as we know, lower energy or less energy than stability becomes more or increase, right? So this is the significant point of hybrid orbitals. Third question, what are hybrid orbitals? What are hybrid orbitals? The hybrid orbitals can be defined as the combination of standard atomic orbitals resulting in the formation of new atomic orbitals. And as we know, new hybrid orbitals are having all the properties are quite same than its parent orbitals. During this hybridization, the hybrid orbitals possess different geometry of orbital arrangement and energies than standard atomic orbitals. Friends, the geometry and shape of hybrid orbitals are quite different than its parent atomic orbitals. Also, the orbital overlap minimizes the energy of molecule. Okay, the degenerate hybrid orbitals formed from the standard atomic orbital, that is, if one s combined with one p orbital will resulted into sp hybridization and sp hybridized orbitals, right? If one s orbital will combine with two p orbitals, then sp2 hybridized orbitals. When one s combined with 3 number of p orbitals, it will be resulted into sp3 hybridized orbitals. When one s 3 p orbitals and 1 d orbitals combine each other to give sp3 d hybridized orbitals. And lastly, 1s 3 p orbitals and 2 d orbitals combined to give sp3 d2 hybridized orbitals. Fourth question, this is very important. What is the difference between sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridization? Right? sp3 hybridization occurs due to the mixing of one s orbital and one p atomic orbital to give sp hybridization. sp2 hybridization is nothing but mixing of one s orbital with two p orbitals, and sp3 hybridization is the mixing of single s orbital with 3 p atomic orbitals. Question 5. What is the percentage of s and p character in sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridized orbitals? This is very important question for your information and your examination also, because if the sp hybridization takes place there, sp2 hybridization and sp3 hybridization takes place there, then we should know the character or the amount of a particular orbital in hybridized orbitals, right? So the answer is the percentage of s and p character in these orbitals is, in sp orbitals, h atomic orbital characteristics will be 50% and p characteristics will be 50%. I mean, both are equally distributed in the hybridized orbitals. But in case of sp2, as we can see that s characteristic is 33.33% while p characteristic is 66.66%. In sp3 hybridized orbital, amount of s orbital may be 25% and amount of p character may be 75%. Right? This is again a very important question for your examination. Explain the 5 basic shapes of hybridization. What are the shapes of hybridization? Basic shapes of hybridization. As we know that hybridized orbitals are directional property. They are oriented in specific direction and they can form specific shape of a molecule, right? So we should know that the basic shapes of hybridization. There are 5 basic shapes in hybridization. First is linear. Linear shape, when 2 electron groups involved resulting in sp hybridization, the angle between the orbital is 180. If molecule is linear in shape and of 180 angle between 2 hybridized orbitals, then we can say that the shape of molecule is linear, or in other words, all the linear molecule shows sp hybridization. Okay. Next one, shape is trigonal planar. Right? sp2 hybridization. 3 electron groups involved resulting in sp2 hybridization. The angle between the orbital is 120. Right? All 120 angle formed trigonal planar shape. Or we can say all the molecules showing the shape like trigonal planar are having bond angle 120. Then this is a specific shape of a molecule. As we know, octahedral and tetrahedral both are specific geometry of a molecule. They are known as specific shape of a molecule, tetrahedral. 4 electron groups involved resulting in sp3 hybridization. The angle between the orbitals is 109 degree and 28. Right? Next, very important shape is trigonal bipyramidal. It is also known as TBP. When 5 electron groups involved, they are resulted in sp3 hybridization, and the bond angle between all the hybridized orbitals are either 90 with axial position to equatorial, while all the 3 bonds in equatorial position are of 120. Right? And last shape of a molecule, that is octahedral, when 6 electron groups involved resulting in sp3 d2 hybridization. The angle between the orbital is 90. All the bond angle between ligand, central metal atom and ligand, LML, is 90. I mean, all the bond angles are quite equal of 90 degree. Right? Next question, Explain sp3 hybridization in methane. It is because methane is most well-known example of sp3 hybridization. The two s and all the three orbitals of p, when two s orbital mix with px, py and pz orbital of carbon, hybridize to form 4 sp3 orbitals. Friends, as we know that number of atomic orbital gives number of hybridized orbitals. As we can see here, one s orbital mix with 3 p orbitals. Total number of atomic orbital is 4, and after mixing they gives total number of hybridized orbitals is 4. So 4 atomic orbital gives 4 hybridized orbitals. These hybridized orbitals bond with 4 atoms of hydrogen through sp3 s orbital overlap, resulting in methane molecule. It is because methane is most important example of hybridization of sp3. The geometry of orbital arrangement due to the maximum electron repulsion in tetrahedral, because as we know that the electron pair repel or repulsion with another electron pair, so there may be maximum repulsion with between both the electron pairs. So all the 4 hybridized orbitals are oriented as far as so that the repulsion may be minimized. Okay. Next important question is, amide molecule looks sp3 hybridized, but it is sp2. Why? Then the answer is, the general process of hybridization will change if the atom is enclosed by 2 or more p orbitals, or it has a lone pair to jump into p orbital. Therefore, in the case of amide molecule, the lone pair goes into a p orbital to have 3 adjacent parallel p orbitals, I mean conjugation, right? Another very important question is that what results in sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridization? After hybridization of sp, sp2 and sp3, as we know that in sp, 1 s and 1 p orbitals may be participating. In sp2, single s orbital will be participated with 2 p orbitals. This hybridization results in 2 and 1 unhybridized p orbitals respectively. When sp hybridization takes place, friends, as we know that single s orbital combined with single p orbitals, then py and pz, both 2 p orbitals are remains as an atomic orbitals. So in sp hybridization there will be 2 p orbitals are atomic orbitals. But in case of sp3 hybridization, single s will be combined with 3 p orbitals. So all the p orbitals px, py, px, py and pz, all the 3 p orbitals takes place there in hybridization. So there will not be a single atomic orbitals. Okay. Next important question is like that, explain the difference between molecular and hybrid orbitals. Friends, I am oftenly saying in my every lecture about chemical bonding that what is the difference between molecular orbitals and hybrid orbitals. As we know that the interaction between the atomic orbitals of 2 different atoms resulted into molecular orbitals. When single hydrogen molecule is going to combine with another or other hydrogen atom to form H2 molecule, then the molecular orbital of this H2 molecule is known as molecular orbital of H2. Whereas the atomic orbitals of the same atom like sp, sp2, sp3, these are the atomic orbitals of the same carbon atom. Interact, they form hybridized orbitals. In short, in the process of molecular orbitals, we can see that all the atomic orbitals which are participating in the linear combination of atomic orbitals of the same atom, while in case of hybridization there will be the atomic orbital of same atoms can be participated. This is the main difference between molecular and hybrid orbitals. And last question is that among sp, sp2 and sp3, which hybrid orbital is more electronegative? Friends, I would like to say that this is again very important question for your information and for your examination. The percentage of S character in sp is 50%. Percentage of S orbital in sp2 is 33%, while percentage of S orbital in sp3 is 25%. Okay, respectively. Due to the spherical shape of S orbital, as I have earlier said, in my previous slide that S orbital is having spherical symmetry. It is attracted evenly by the nuclei from all directions. Therefore, a hybrid orbital with more S character, what we can say in sp hybridization, the character of S orbital is greatest, will be closer to the nuclei, in which hybridization the hybridized orbitals will be closer to the nuclei, in which more S character, that hybridized orbitals will be closer to the nuclei, and thus more electronegative. It is because it is already attracted by the nuclei, right? Hence, the sp hybridized carbon is more electronegative than sp2 and sp3. Dear friends, I would like to say that all these questions will be very useful for you all the friends, for your kind information, for your kind better chemistry, and for your examination. I hope these questions may be useful in your future. Thank you.